What's up, my friends? I hope you're well. I am doing fantastic. Getting a lot of music done and just living life. I know my last video I was talking about this thing right here. Looks like a fuzzball or something on my shirt. My microphone. It's working great, by the way. I'm enjoying it. I really am. The squeaking of the chair is not something that's helpful, but that's going to happen anyway. This isn't a professional TV studio, and I don't claim to be. I like to just turn the camera on and talk. But anyway, all is well. Future travels, I'll be going to the Panama Canal in October. It's probably the only cruise left I'm taking this year. I didn't quite make the diamond for life with Carnival like a lot of these people are, or Carnival Cruise Lines. If you cruise, you know about this whole new point system that's going up, the new reward system. I'm like 60, 70 days or something from being, I'm not going to live on a cruise ship for 3 or 4 months. I've got too much to do here and things going on. I'm not doing that. It would be cool, but it's okay. I think I get the gist of what they're getting people to do to keep your status. And if you compare the difference between diamond and platinum with Carnival, it's not a whole lot of difference. I mean, except you got diamond for life, and that's great. I'd love to have sealed that, but it is what it is, I get what they're trying to do, but you got a lot of people that are just kind of conspiracy math and jumping the gun. They don't really know how this is going to go because Carnival really hasn't rolled everything out. That there's still some things left unsaid, I think, and they've added some things recently, but that's neither here nor there. But other than that, I'm doing well. I want to talk about something real quick, and bear with me here because YouTube has gotten to a point where you got people that their brains have molded into being impatient. That's why I think they figured out, well, YouTube shorts are great because no one wants to sit there and watch 10, 15 minutes of a video. If you sit down and want to watch YouTube and you're interested in things, you cannot be in that much of a hurry because you have to ask yourself, why are you even watching to begin with? Now, I get if somebody's never getting to a point and they have a title in their videos talking about something and they don't get to it, or they may touch on it, but they don't really talk about it. But I'm going to talk about it here. And it's not about Carnival Cruise Lines, by the way. It's something I've noticed over the years when I've researched stuff and I've learned things. The whole YouTube influencer thing is that whole culture's gotten a little out of hand. And then you get into a lot of these AI videos where someone's typed a script and AI is talking it and you don't know who's behind it. You don't know who they took that for. I've seen a lot of that where they took someone else's video, cut and pasted their script and did a whole new voice in the AI video of it. I'm like, come on. They edited it and, it's just to get views. And my whole point is this. I use YouTube to learn how to build this house, my RV, for travels. Tons of it to learn stuff with music over the years. I've used YouTube for figuring out, am I investing money wisely, And that's where it really gets you in trouble. You just have to be real careful, guys. And my advice is this, and I don't want to make this video too terribly long, but if you're researching on stuff on YouTube, and most of you probably know this, what I'm about to say, but if you're not thinking about it, the light bulb may come on. You may go, I haven't looked at it that way. I think the best way of doing this, and I figured this out, was don't just watch one video. In other words, if I'm giving you advice on, like my other channels about music business and music and things I'm doing and equipment and music licensing, which is the publishing aspect to the film and TV music that I do. That's what I do. You see music gear around me and everything going on. That's just what I do. It's nothing you don't know if you've been watching, but you don't just watch my video. Watch as many videos as you can. And I always encourage you. I've passed on resources, and I always do, because I always like to pass on what works for me. I'm not the be-all, end-all, and I don't claim to be. But what I would do is take the law of averages when you're researching something on YouTube. In other words, just be careful because you've got a lot of influencers out there that might be trying to sell you something, or they're pushing one thing really hard. I mean, there are influencers out there talking about health matters that are like, every time you see a video, he's selling something new. He's telling a technique of something different. And when he gets done with you, if you've if you've bought into everything he's done, one, by the end of the day, you're broke buying everything he's selling. Number two, you don't have enough time in the day to do everything he tells you to do because you have to go to work or you have to do something or live your life, you know. It's not that complicated. You just have to understand the things you need to do. But it's the case like when I built this house and I was watching all these repair vids. You're going to know who's good and who's not, who's sending you in the right direction. And my best example is this. If you watch 20 or 30 videos on how to do drywall, that's the best example I give you because, man, I spent 3 or 4 months watching YouTube videos on drywall and I can't believe I got this done. And that plumber said it best. The fact is you've never done drywall, you did an amazing job. Don't worry about your horizontal showing. Who cares? You can get somebody to come in and skim coat that later because that's an art form within itself. And I'm not I'm not the one for that. And I'll admit it. I don't care. I knew it wasn't going to be perfect, but it turned out all right. But I digress. If you watch 30 videos about something on how to do drywall, and one of those 30 says something completely different, or one or two of them in a different direction of not to do that or something weird, question it, verify it. Take the law of averages. As always, with the majority of their people are saying one direction that is the right thing to do is probably where you need to go. In other words, pay attention to these things, you know. And that goes if you're traveling, if you're RVing, living van life, or building a tiny home, traveling on cruise ships like I do. What else have I freaking done in my life that I haven't done? My gosh. But my point is just be careful because the YouTube influencer cultures is just a bit out of hand with the sense of these guys are doing videos on sponsorship, getting paid to do videos and, you know, showcasing product, but do they use it or do they know how or have they really been doing music that long? I see this the biggest on music because I see a lot of these YouTube influencers with music that they may be good singers, they're not songwriters, or they learned how to show you tips and tricks about Logic Pro here on your iPad, on your MacBook Pro, but they're not really all that, they haven't been composing that long or they don't know. Or some people are not really doing music, they're just portraying that they're doing music, but they're selling products. Or, you know, or maybe they are and they're just their biggest, or they do compose or they're writers, and that's okay. Not all of them are like that. Most of them, I will say, are musicians, they're composers, and they're doing this. But they're just focusing on making money with brands, and they're pushing things. And a lot of it gets clouded with, are they really guiding you in the right direction, or is it all based on that piece of equipment they're trying to advertise or sell you or something? You're going to find the people that teach you the technique because they're actually doing it and you're seeing it. You're putting your hands on the fretboard and you're doing it, or you're implementing over here. But what you can't afford to do is when you're building a house is listen to one video and go, okay, that's how you do it, and start building it and it falls apart and you go, that guy said that was how it's supposed to be done. But 29 other videos out of that one said, don't do that. This is what will happen, and it did. Watch as many videos as you can. You don't have to subscribe to every one of those channels, but just do your research. I'm not telling you something you don't already know. You already know a lot of this. But a lot of people get caught up in this, and they get caught up in the channels. And especially, there's a lot of culture of these days right now, I don't know if you know much about cryptocurrency and investing in a lot of that stuff, but a lot of people are buying into a lot of this stuff that is dangerous when you're putting a lot of your money into something that the SEC doesn't recognize as commodities. You have to be careful. Or that's something you have to be real careful about. It's like legal advice on the internet. Be extremely careful. Trying to take AI as legal advice right now. You have to be careful, you know, and you just have to do your research and look at the law of averages of who, you know, you see the real people are, because what they're doing is they're telling you, hey, stop, be rational, don't do this. Don't just freak out and do this. If you're new at this, just stop and learn. You're going to know because they're going to tell you. You're going to see the pattern. And that's from watching a bunch of different videos. That's with building an RV van, safety thing. I've talked about that when I built my van. It's the things that weren't safe. And there's always somebody that's going to get on there and go argue. You don't know what you're talking about. I said, I just did it. I do know what I'm talking about. And I talked to my travels, 4 or 5 other people where it happened. And the biggest example is I talked about the solar panels on my van. I used the VHB tape, but I also used screws and some anchors. And people will say, VHB tape holds windows and skyscrapers, and you don't know what you're talking about. You know, I was like, I'm telling you, whether you believe I know what I'm talking about or not, I'm just telling you based on what I've seen, what I've heard, and what I've done. And I didn't feel comfortable with just a VHB tape. That's my gut feeling. You need a backup. There are people saying that. You do what you want to do. Don't argue with me. Don't come at me like that. It's not cool. Watch a million other videos and take your law of averages. Don't take me as the be-all, end-all. I'm just trying to pass on my concern. It doesn't make me evil. I'm just telling you based on my experience. And so many more people have made comments on that video that have said, he's right, don't do this. Some of them came on and said, my panel came flying off down the road. Luckily, I didn't hit somebody's car. You're responsible for what comes off that vehicle. Your solar panel comes flying off that vehicle, goes through the windshield of another car, and you hurt or kill somebody. You're responsible for that. It's just thinking. You know, and it's with a lot of things that you do in life and anything. I'm not the be-all, end-all. I don't claim to be. But just wanted to get on and kind of just take a moment and talk about, be careful with a lot of these YouTube influencers and just take things as a grain of salt. If you're really into a channel and you enjoy them, follow. I'm not telling you not to. I'm not telling you not to listen to their advice, but there's so many other people that have good advice. And I'm going to end this with one thing that will help you the most, and it's always happened with me. You can listen to 12 different people say the same thing to you, and it's that one person out of 12 that says it in such a way that resonates. Like, you know, I get it. I get it. I understand it. It's the way they said it. Can't tell you how many times it's been like I had that light bulb moment of that epiphany of, you know, you're right. You're right. That is true. So just be careful out there. I'm not saying that I'm misleading you, because I don't feel that I am. People have called attention to things that I missed and I didn't talk about, and I did. And I've learned a lot from people that I've done videos and things, and people have made comments and helped me, and I've learned from it. Like, you know, I missed that and I didn't know that. Thank you. Let me go back and check on that. And it panned out to be right. So just know we're all in this together, but there are some people that have one agenda, and they're not always being nefarious. I don't think. Some could be, but I don't think everybody's really trying to be nefarious. They're just locked in on, I'm making money on brand ads, I'm doing this, and their advice is missing details that they need to tell you in their advice. They don't think to give you because they're thinking about one thing. But there are a lot of great channels out there, no matter what you research and what you're into, what you're doing on YouTube. There's a lot of great content of people giving you good information. Know that. This is not to fear you. It's just to kind of give you maybe a perspective of the way I've learned. Of when I'm learning something, man, I watch every video that I can. I seek it out all I can, you know, and you start, you know, running into the same channels over and over again. Then you know ones to narrow down to that are really giving you the right skinny. And just learn from it. It's like anything in life, folks. Listen, I thank you for watching. Just want to get on babble for 13 minutes. Probably too long about this. But when I get on, I want to talk about something cool. You know I'm gonna. I'm not big on just being this big YouTuber. I just like to get on and talk. But as I travel here this year, I've got my conference in October. And then like a week or later or more, I'll go to the Panama Canal on that cruise. It's going to be a 14-day out of Port Canaveral on the Glory again, Carnival Glory. It's going to be cool. I'd booked that, and I think I booked that. I don't know if I booked that before I booked the Spain trip, or I booked the Spain trip. I don't know. I just know I ended up going to the Panama Canal because it was an offer I couldn't refuse. It was one of those. It was like for $500 for a 14-day cruise. All drinks are included, gambling money, and some, you know, free play and some onboard credit, and, you know, the usual. It was how I got that European cruise, which I thought was cool. So I did get an offer for the Singapore, the big one. I don't feel like flying abroad again this year. And I just don't want to get in that China, 2 days in Hong Kong and Singapore and Vietnam. In that area right now, is you don't know with all going on. It's just right now, I got too much going on this year, and I'll have other opportunities. You know, I want to go to Japan. That's what I want to do. So I want to figure out that in time. So anyway, I appreciate you for watching. I'm jumping off, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Be cool. Bye.